Episode 20. Happy, was it June? June 3rd. What's up, Tim?
So
Can't believe it's June already, man. It's like half half a year
yep.
past. Shit, man. Oh man. Better get ready for 2020, I guess.
Well, I'm not
Um,
ready for that.
oh yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, anyways, we're short. Oh, never mind. Haha, just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna do anime or manga scene. A scene. I'm pretty sure we already did like the general anime or manga, but like a scene where we got goosebumps. It was memorable. Something that left an impression in our mind. So, uh, just to start things off, I want to say my list, which was Hunter x Hunter when Gon fights Pito. Uh, it was crazy. It was one of those moments where it's just like, yeah, Gon is really strong, but Pito was like much stronger until Gon went crazy. Have you guys seen that episode? It was crazy. Or not episode, but even like chapter. Actually, yeah, I enjoy the manga more.
Nope,
Oh, rip.
but it sounds hardcore.
What about you, Tim?
What arc was that?
That's the Ant King arc.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that was one of those crazy moments where it's just like, oh shit, I got like goosebumps just watching that one scene. And yeah, it's something about just like passing your limit and then you know going crazy just to fight, or actually, in his case, actually killing someone. Yeah, and then I think a lot of people seen this one. It's the One Piece one where Ace covers for Luffy and he gets killed by Akainu, the general. It's well known actually. It's like the execution arc.
Yeah, that one was good, or it was very traumatic.
There's a lot of debatable things where it's like, oh well, if he's like an fire type, um, well, there's like
Yeah,
different.
magma beats fire.
Yeah, but like, what's it called? Like, if you're capable of changing your, well, actually, I don't know if he could change his whole body into fire or he could just manipulate fire. That was kind of confusing for me, but I assumed he was able to transform into fire, so maybe he could have just made like a hole to begin with in the middle of his chest or something. But there's also a debate saying like Akainu already knows this thing called haki, which nullifies the the
Yeah.
powers. So yeah, there's different debates about it, but
Yeah. That's how Luffy can hit Smoker.
right. Yeah, but yeah, not sure if Akainu has it too, but I mean, I'm assuming if he's like a powerful general,
Yeah, he
and
probably
he's going
does.
up against a bunch of power fruit eating people. Yeah, that was really iconic. That definitely I did not expect it. Um, yeah, and especially I liked Ace more than Luffy, so that was kind of like my turning point. I was like, oh, I can't believe like a main, or not really a main character, right? Like a side character, I guess, like a side. I guess you could say
But
main,
he was
right?
he was a big like side character.
Yeah. He was part of Luffy's, well, the main character's, story. So yeah, I was just like, how can you, like, I assume One Piece, no one dies in One Piece.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then Was that one of the very first ones where they actually killed off a really important character? Or was there someone else that died before that? I can't remember.
I can't think of any, but it
Yeah,
Definitely
I
was
was.
definitely
think it was
a
him.
timely way, a great like a really shocking time for a main character to die. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, all right, like in your mindset, it's just like, all right, so Luffy's gonna go and save him from an execution, but in the end, he still dies, and it's just like, holy shit, I can't believe it, you know. But yeah, definitely something I did not expect, and then I was just like, shocked, and that was a really memorable scene to me.
yeah, definitely. One Piece has a ton of them,
Yeah, yeah.
especially in the Shabodi
Hmm.
archipelago. There's like five in there probably that you can name.
Yeah. Shoot, what was that? Was it? I don't know if it was also that arc where, um, which one was the one where they save, uh, oh, not save, that was the one that when they went up against that cyborg guy, right? Like the bear guy that could like instantly transport everyone into like a different zone or something. He has his ability is like a paw or something, and if he touches him, they like get flown away to like a different place. Was that in there? Because I did
Mm,
like I don't, they didn't introduce what he did in that arc, or I don't know if it was that in that arc, but it's like one by one, all his crewmates just disappeared.
oh yeah, that's
Eh,
the one.
yeah, yeah, and so in the end, it was only Luffy left, and then he was just like I he thought that everyone died.
Yeah,
And I thought they died too. I was like, holy shit. It's like this OP ass dude that's like even stronger than the white beard, right?
yeah.
So yeah, I didn't even know what he did too. And I was just like,
For me, that one is like even more powerful than the one you named because I don't know, you don't really think about a show like this, like because they really hit him real hard with the powerlessness.
mm-hmm.
Like it was just like total complete domination. There's nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, yeah. And then so like right after that episode, I looked it up, and then the artist or whoever's creating the story was saying like he wanted like an upgrade for all the characters. He didn't like first of all he didn't like the design of Zoro and Nami, and I believe it was Usopp, those three. And he was like, "All right, we need to like m- make a way to reanimate or to draw them out differently." And then so they created that arc or that part, that scene. So I thought it was a pretty interesting way of trying to change the storyline in a way to your liking or the artist's liking. And then obviously you can tell that they all changed after that timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, it's kind of they kind of upgraded. They got stronger and they kind of like embodied in their like physically changing. And it was kind of interesting actually.
yeah, yeah. And then the training too, right? Like how they went through it. It was all different but hilarious too. Um like Sanji went to like a gay island or something,
Yeah.
and then from escaping all these gay men, or he like developed like a what's it called, like a movement technique or something. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean overall, I think One Piece has a lot of
Yeah.
memorable things. Yeah,
It helps that they have a lot of episodes, so yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, and then for the anime or manga that I hate, Attack on Titans. There's this one scene where, like, in the very beginning, this guy called Hans, he's like the drunk guard that's supposedly supposed to take care of the main character Eren and Misaka, whatever, whatever the fuck her name is.
My house.
And then in the beginning, he's like too coward to like go up against the Titans, and then throughout like a few volumes, there's a time where he could actually, he's able to protect them. So in a way, yeah, he fulfilled his death. That was inevitable, I guess you could say. Yeah, I think out of all the Attack on Titans part, I'm pretty sure there's more memorable scenes, but that was like the one that stood out for me, where it's just like, oh yeah, he's gonna die somehow, but how are they gonna kill him off, in the manga? So yeah, there was that. And I don't know if you guys read Berserk. Have you guys read Berserk? Or Berserker? Sorry.
Wait, Berserker? Is that something else?
The one with Griffith
Guts?
and Guts. Yeah, Guts.
Okay, yeah. That's Berserk.
Berserk, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this scene where they actually, Griffith rapes, I forgot her name.
Casca?
Yeah. That scene, I was like, are you allowed to show that in manga, like a rape scene? Like, I know in the anime I don't know if they.
Oh no, of course not. I mean, TV is way more strict than the manga.
Yeah.
Like the medium.
Yeah, well, like I just couldn't stand like the CGI type 3D type shit that they did for the show, so I didn't watch it. But in the manga, they did like this rape scene, and I was just like, holy shit, like you're not allowed to do that, are you? And it was like really,
right.
Yeah, it was like really iconic, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and it was really like early on, so like you're not really even sure what's going on yet.
yeah, you're starting to be like in Guts's side, or like you're trying to understand the character that he is, and then this happens and you're just like sucked in more into this series, right?
Yeah, I mean at that point, like I'm not even sure. I was just kind of like, I'm not really sure like what this is about yet.
Yeah.
They just kind of like throw you in.
Yeah, and yeah, I just I was like, I was blown away, because that never happened. And I'm pretty sure there's more in the manga, but yeah, that scene stood out. And the less neglected, or no one really watches this, but it's called Gairei Zero, where in the first episode all the main character dies. It's kind of like Game of Thrones or something, where it's just like the main characters started to die off one by one, and you're like, and then so when they actually start off the episode, which is like episode 2 or 3, it's just like, okay, I'm not even gonna follow the main character because they might die off again. Yeah. I don't really recommend it because it's kind of weird. It's kind of confusing. So yeah. And I have Vinland Saga. Have you guys, or have Tim? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So there's a scene where, like it builds up, right? So it's like there's the main character Thorfinn, that has all his life he's going after this guy named what's his name, Askeland or something. There's the guy who killed his father, and his life led up all the way to that point where Askeland dies in the hands of someone else. And I was like, you can't give it to like Thorfinn. It'll be like a really big deal for Thorfinn to kill him off, but instead he dies off by someone else. Or I believe it went like that. But yeah, I was just like, holy shit, dude! Like, that's insane. Like the whole series itself is awesome. It's amazing, and yeah, I really like the art style and everything too. So definitely Vinland Saga. It's awesome. It's awesome. And let's say Grimgar, the healer dies, and it's like the same Game of Thrones reference where it's just like, oh, the nice. If you're too nice, you die off. So it's just like, okay, so maybe in these real life situations, you can't really be um, selfless. I guess like if you're too worried about other people's like lives, you're gonna die. And then I thought it was pretty weird how the healer dies. Like you would think like the person that has the most heals in their slots will be able to survive. But yeah, he dies off. Spoiler alert. Yeah, and then my last one is from Sunken Rock, where he works in like a Korean modeling, or he's like a manager for a Korean model or model group. Yeah, model group. And there's a scene where they have to share like an apartment because apparently it's based off of his budget or like a really low budget. And um, they all come in, and then this girl that likes him um, goes in the same bed as him while he's sleeping, and then he gets like a raging boner, and he can't find or tell the other girls that's coming in that there's a girl in his bed with him. Like it to begin with, it wasn't him that wanted to like have that girl in there. She just like snuck in. And then he tries to hide her, so he like shoves her in his pants and shirt with his like boner like touching her butt. And then they're like, okay, well, we don't see anyone, so I guess you're clear, but don't be doing anything perverted. I thought it was pretty hilarious, like comedic. um how I described it sounds like a hentai, but I assure you it's not. It's just like etchy and what's it called, comedy and action, some action. Yeah, that was my list. So go ahead with yours, Tim.
Well, all right. So first on my list is it's the like opening scroll from Akira, where like he's on the bike and he's like going down the like road, and there's like um what is it? And you see the like tall buildings, and like there's like a little bit of like of the background that's showing through from behind these two buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but like I remember that being a really powerful moment, just like, and it's full of details too, because most of that scene is just like being covered with buildings, I guess, and there's music playing and dude's riding a bike, and it's like totally empty, and he's just like totally free, and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I don't. Dang, that was like so long. I need to rewatch that, but I do recall seeing like a scene like that. It's Akira. I think is a really detailed for when it came out. I think it's really old, and the thing about old anime is they tend to re introduce the scenes that's already drawn out. But for Akira, they actually, I don't think there's a scene where they like do that, and I think it's really amazing how they hand drawn everything to like tip top detail. And yeah, I could see how that scene itself is iconic. What I don't really get is it's supposed to be like futuristic slash post apocalyptic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the buildings and everything, yeah, it's kind of ruined, but it's like not really futuristic. Like everything else is futuristic except like the buildings.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
mean,
yeah.
it's definitely like sci-fi, but
Hmm.
it has a lot of groundedness there from like how familiar like the buildings look, the skyline looks,
Yeah.
and then you see this like futuristic looking bike and that just like kind of like pulls you out and like kind of connects you between your present and the future.
Yeah, it's the contrast, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. That's really interesting or iconic. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely memorable.
I tried to pick like anime that I wouldn't like normally recommend
Mm-hmm.
because we've already kind of like done the memorable anime topic,
Mm-hmm.
so I thought it'd be interesting to like pick scenes that from shows that I wouldn't really like usually watch. Like I love Akira, but
That's not your
I was
forte. Yeah.
always more of a fan of the manga more
Mm-hmm.
because like it was that's what I grew up with, and it was I don't know, it was just incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Next on my list is Full Metal Alchemist. Um, we've talked about this before that I don't really enjoy it that much,
Yeah.
but Full Metal Alchemist is a weird case for me in that it has really powerful scenes and really powerful concepts,
Mm-hmm.
but the my problem with it is that I don't feel that it tied up together at the ending really well.
Yeah.
Like it has incredible concepts like where they build their like alchemy spot next to like a prison so they can like build the alchemist stone from like mass sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene that really stuck out to me is it was a little girl that was had a like failed yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the moment you say little girl, I was like, oh, there's only one.
But yeah, that's a like so this little girl was became a chimera because she was part of a was it a failed transformation? But she was being transmuted with the dog, and
Yeah.
she kind of became this like weird creature that was mostly dog and that she was stuck in.
Yeah, the thing was, the dad worried more about his um, title, right? Like he wanted to
Right,
keep his alchemist title, so he valued that over family. So, in order to keep that title, you had to come up with like an experiment that succeeded in his career. And I'm pretty sure there's like real life stuff that does that as well, right? Like if
yeah,
you're like a scientist, you need to have some sort of experiment that worked, or else the government's not going to fund your experiment or whatever you're working on.
right. So you get desperate, you try some stuff, and sometimes you go too far.
Yeah, and then in his case, he gave up his dog and little daughter and turned it into a chimera. And it was just like a very iconic scene, and then everyone's making it a meme, right?
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's one thing to like have a character die. There's something more powerful about a scene like that where she's like forced to be in this like monstrous state.
Yeah. And in the end, But I can't really tell. Oh, it's probably what's it called? Um, uh, psych psychological. There you go. That's the
Yeah,
word I'm looking for.
okay.
It's probably psychological because you don't know, as a person that has power, you want to end that living thing's life because it's like an abomination, or you think it's an abomination.
Yeah.
So you don't know. But um, spoiler alert, they kill her, or it, you could say. But yeah, it was a really iconic scene. And that sucks. How? Yeah, it is psychological. Like I can't honestly. I don't think okay, and so there's this like two different alchemists, right? The Brotherhood and then the regular one.
Yeah.
And in the Brotherhood, they didn't go too much in detail about like every characters, and I believe the very first one they were more in depth about like each character.
Yeah, well, they had more episodes.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, that actually confused me too. Like how they had like two different, I wouldn't say arcs, but like it's the same thing, but one who just had more detail. And I believe the ending was different as well.
Yeah, the ending was the main complaint, I believe, and so that was like I think the focus of Brotherhood.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, in terms of like Brotherhood, it was, I don't know, if it was like the very first one that you've seen, like the Brotherhood, then you'd be like, what the fuck, like, you wouldn't know. But
Right.
if you've seen both, you'd be like, okay, so I understand why the dad was so desperate to the point where he would throw away his own, daughter. But uh, yeah, yeah, definitely an iconic scene. It's a good one.
All right. Next up, I'm bringing back Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like all right, something I know.
Yep.
Because there's this thing about Yu-Gi-Oh, it's really cheesy, but they use this cheesiness to like bring about these like really powerful scenes. Like in the beginning of the show, Pegasus like reaches out from a TV and like traps an old man into a card. And that was like crazy. Like you don't even know what's going on yet.
Yeah.
And the
For
dude is just trapped in a card and
for a card game, that's pretty dark.
Yeah, for a kids TV show.
Wait, was Yu-Gi-Oh the very first card anime?
I think so.
yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean Pokemon was there, but they didn't
They
have
didn't have
cards at
cards.
all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cuz I think, going a little bit off topic, wasn't Monster Rancher like a card based
Mm,
thingy?
They use discs
Kind
though.
of.
Oh,
Yeah, they
discs
use
was it? Oh,
discs.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
like you didn't play the PS one where you can put in like random
Yeah, yeah.
DVD and get like a monster from it.
Do you guys like scramble around try to find
Yeah,
different DVDs?
yeah, exactly. And I kept getting Mochi, and I was pissed.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a card instead of a disc. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, very iconic. There's like a whole bunch of scenes that was like really iconic.
Yeah, like I don't remember. I think this was outside of the mansion where like Pegasus lives, but like Yugi is fighting Kaiba and Kaiba's just like, "Okay, you can beat me, but I'm going to like stand on the ledge and your finishing blow is going to like kill me." So
Yeah, only something in the anime. It's like way to use technology into your advantage.
I don't know. I still like the first episode. My father's deck has no pathetic cards.
Oh man.
I for me like the character Joey is just iconic. Like he's I don't know to call him a troll or like
No, he has his own troll face, which is hilarious.
yeah, that
Yeah.
troll face is like so iconic. It's hilarious.
And his deck is like really troll too, because he has all these like weird, these like roll the dice kind of cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Or flip a coin.
Yeah, flip coin.
He's a man of gambling.
So in a way, he was kind of troll in a way that like people didn't realize until they like actually played the game,
Yeah.
because the show doesn't tell you anything about the game.
And I like how they went like the story flowed so well from like the regular part to like the Egyptian part, like focusing more on his puzzle. I thought that was pretty cool. How they introduced like, oh, it's Egyptian, so we're gonna come up with the three Egyptian gods, you know. And I thought, shit, what was his name? Makuro, the dude with the white hair that has like the
Which one? There's like two. The one with the ring or the one
the
with the
ring,
staff?
right?
I think it was the ring.
Did he have a god card?
You're talking about the guy that was in their party, right? Or no?
it's the one that had the raw card, I believe, and then Joey won or something, and then got it from him. Who was the one that had the
Yeah, the
wait, was it the raw card?
yeah, raw guy was Merrick or
Yeah,
Mark,
yeah, Mark.
the guy with the eye in his.
Wait, did he have two? Did he have the red one as well, the dragon? And then he gave it off to the mime dude? Oh man, it's been too long for me.
I forgot how Yuki got the dragon,
Because
the
I
red one.
know in the beginning, Yugi fought the mime guy that had the god card, but it was like a copy or a fake or something. And then he had to fight it again to get it.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I just remember the mime guy because I had the same deck as him. I was like, oh shit, this slime shit is awesome. This revival slime just keeps coming. But no, the fucking.
Oh yeah, the slime jam.
Yeah, the freaking what's it called? The actual card is you got to pay 1,000 life to keep it revived, and I was like, man, this deck is bullshit. But yeah, I thought that arc was pretty cool too. Yeah. Boom, there it is.
Okay, so it was the mime guy was being possessed by Merrick
Yeah.
and was using his deck.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, yeah, Merrick had the god card.
Yeah. So. Shit. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, there it is. All right, Tim. Keep going. What's next? Or was that it?
Hold on. Can't remember where I'm at on my list.
After Yu-Gi-Oh?
After you
Oh.
play Pot of Greed to draw 2 additional cards.
Okay, yeah, that's iconic. But yeah, after that I just have like a bunch of stuff that I just love in general, like Ghost in a Shell when she's just like ripping the like head off the prototype Tachikoma. Like in the like abandoned building, and she's kinda like on her last straw, and she's like ripping the head off this tank, and like her arm is like
Like giving out too.
yeah, it's kind of like exploding, like she's trying that hard.
Mm-hmm. Was that in the movie too,
I
or
feel like that was the movie.
okay?
Can't remember actually.
Yeah. I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, it's something about like the characters or the main characters exceeding their limits, right? That's really iconic, or it leaves an impression. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I forgot. In Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, when
Mhm.
uh, basically they like shoot, I forgot his name.
Which one?
The guy with the glasses.
Um
The big guy.
isn't his name like Gurren or something?
Starts with like a ka sound.
There's Simon and Kamiya.
Oh yeah, Kamiya.
Kamiya, yeah. Yeah.
Basically they like spanned like 6, 7 episodes like building him up, and then they like kill him off.
Kill him off, yeah. But that's like a good way for the kid Kamiya? Wait, what was
Simon.
Simon, yeah. For Simon to grow up and become like a better person.
Yeah, but to me it was really powerful because at up to that point, like the show was kind of like lacking. It was kind of like full of fan service. It wasn't like it was just kind of whimsical. And
Yeah.
then they kind of like pull all this stuff out, and this guy that you think is like the coolest character of the show, and
Mhm.
he's being built up to probably be the main character, and they just kind of like throw him out.
Yeah. Definitely think. Yeah, it was like a bro thing, like the two bros working it out to the very end. But yeah, I would. Yeah, that was a good sacrifice, and they also like finished off his arc as well, because wasn't it for him that his dad went to go out and then he wanted to search for him, and then once he found out that the dad was dead, that kind of finished his story.
Yeah.
So it yeah.
And his like voice kind of still like lives on through the show, but like it was just really powerful at that time, just the contrast between the like whimsy and it was just unexpected. So I don't know, it was a good scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Yeah, definitely. But also, the chick's boobs where it was a good good scene for any scene. Um, yeah. What? Shit. What's her name? Yoko. Her name was Yoko. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right. What about you, Seth? What you got?
All right, I got stuff from like super old to like kind of recent. So I started with Dragon Ball Z,
Mm.
so like 1990, Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time. Like that was very, I guess, very new. It's like, oh man, this guy's hair turned blonde. Like an Asian guy became a white dude. It's crazy. Yeah, and then a weird one, 2002, when Naruto tried to kiss Sakura in class, but ended up kissing Sasuke instead. I don't know why I remember that. I was like, oh shit, shit's pretty gay.
That was early on, right? Like
Yeah, like
first
really.
10 episodes or something.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, and they kind of like just played it off like nothing. It's like,
Did they?
I think it just cut to like the next scene or something.
yeah.
I remember like everyone was like super jealous of Naruto. That was a thing, right?
Yeah. Like, was that Inu or
You know?
Ino and Sakura was jealous.
Yeah.
Right.
Only in Japan.
Yeah, only in Japan. And like all these scenes you can for the viewers, you can just search on YouTube. Like I'll give the title and it's there.
Fan
So
service,
then
man.
so then it's Gundam Seed Destiny 2004, Strike Freedom's first launch. I guess the name of the clip. You can watch it. It had like a epic soundtrack or OST, and then he just comes out of like I don't know. It's just like the music went so well when he was like launching off, and he just like killed everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, how Jesus kills things in space.
Okay.
And then 2006, Death Note was L's death. Like his death wasn't as shocking. It was how Light played. Like he was so like in character of like somebody send help. Like he should like win an Oscar. Like even though like Light knew that L was gonna die anyways. Like such a good actor.
Yeah,
So,
right. That was like the most powerful part was like how he like played it off.
yeah, he
It
played it
was
off so well. I was like, wow, this guy. Yeah,
the balls on.
yeah, yeah.
Really?
He needs an Oscar for that one.
I thought it went out of his character, and I was like, he doesn't do that. He'd be like, I don't know. For me, I was just like,
Yeah, it's out of character for us readers,
Yeah.
but like for the police officers around there, it was like
yeah,
believable.
yeah. I guess if
Yeah.
you don't know who he is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then moving on to 2007, it's Gundam 00. Have you guys seen that one?
Hmm.
Okay, it's when Lock-On snipes from Earth into outer space and shoots like one of the... I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I've never seen that before, but it was like so memorable for me.
It's so absurd that it's memorable.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on. Uh, Around, actually, I don't know when. So Attack on Titan came out like 2009, but I think season 2 was kind of recent, 2010 maybe. So it's the end of the season where Eren fights Rainer in their Titan form. It was like the most epic Titan battle. It's like lots of yelling and shit.
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought that fight scene was pretty cool. Not much to say there. And then moving on to 2013 is when Kirito dual wields for the first time.
To fight that ox dude.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like it was both cool and cringy at the same time, and kind of like, dude, he could have done that in the sense of the beginning, let all those people die. I don't know. It was like cool and like Kirito's a dick at the same time.
Yeah.
All right.
And then also that one scene where he gets poisoned by that dude, that snake dude, and then he almost dies. Or I think he did die, but somehow he like glitched it or something. You remember that one scene? Where
is that in season 1?
I don't know. Maybe? No, I don't think so. It's the one where it was like him, that guy that poisoned him, and then Asuna was going on like a guild mission or something, and then
Yeah.
Asuna goes up ahead, and then that guy poisons him, and then he dies or something, and then they glitched it.
Yeah, he drank a paralyzed potion.
Yeah.
And then he was like stabbing him. Yeah, and then he came back to life.
I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what? Like,
Yeah, that was dumb. That was really dumb. Yeah, that's that's one of those scenes you remember too, because how absurd it is.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Sword Art had a lot of those. Okay, and
I think they had a scene where I forgot how old Asuna was, but it was like a scene where it's like a older girl likes him, and then they're both like in a. It was like a side story where they're in like a cabin in the woods, and then I guess they're like sharing like a family moment or something, but I just had that. I don't know. They made it so it was like, oh, it's wrong for an older chick to like a younger guy or something. I don't know. I just got that impression. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. See, moving on. Tokyo Ghoul. This is like 2014. Is when Kaneki versus Jason. So it's like towards the end of season 1, where he like stops being a little bitch and just like, beats the shit out of Jason. Like twists his own leg, like he breaks his own leg, and kind of like roundhouse kicks him. Like that was pretty cool.
Was that like right after the torture?
Yeah, like when he woke up from his torture.
Dude, he fucking had a centipede in his
Yeah.
head. If he didn't rage, I'd be like questioning the anime.
Yeah.
That's disgusting, man.
Yeah. Not much to say there. And then My Hero Academia. The title of the episode was "You Can Become a Hero," when like Midoriya was asking All Might if he can become a hero, and then they were playing like that theme song in the background. It's like, yeah, you can, and he's like crying. It's like we're all crying, everyone's crying, I'm crying. that was really touching. All right, and then my last one is from this season. It's Kimitsu no Yaiba, or Demon Slayer, and it's just this episode, or episode 9, is when the main character uses a form. It's called Third Form Flowing Dance, and like the animation for that is so good, so beautiful. You guys gotta check it out. It's probably not uploaded yet on YouTube because it was just like this season. But holy shit, the budget on that animation, like crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it. Oh wait, I forgot one. I forgot at Noah Zero. Okay, at Noah Zero, have you guys seen that one?
Was that the one where they're like living in a floating ship? Or not a floating ship, but like just a ship in general?
Is the one with like an orange looking Gundam?
And there's like a chick too, right? Like like a native black skinned chick?
No,
No?
that's
Maybe I'm thinking of
you're
something
thinking
else.
of the ocean one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, this one is just space. No ocean. No
It's Mecha,
dancing
right?
girls. Huh?
It's Mecha, right?
Yeah, it's mech.
Okay. I think I've seen this.
Okay. Anyways, so it's like Lock On, but instead of sniping from Earth into space, he snipes from space down to Earth. And I was just like, what the fuck? Oh, this is some bullshit. Anyways, if you guys want to check out that scene, it's at Noah Zero, long range support. That's the title. So fucking stupid. Anyways, yeah, I'm done.
I like the Fate Stay Night like opening. Like all the openings are so cool how they tie in the intro song to like what happens in the beginning. Like I thought like a lot, I mean, if not all the intros were pretty cool. They had like a good scene for it where it's like what, you died, and then it's like the what's it called, the main intro starts. That just starting point is I thought it was pretty cool for a lot of the scenes. The unlimited blade works.
Unlimited blade works. Yeah, that was good.
The ideal white intro that they tie.
We're not talking about like the old school one, right? 'Cause that one was shit.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know why, like, the most memorable scene for me from Unlimited Blade Works by UFO Table is the orange peeling scene. I can't forget that fucking orange for some reason. it's like they spent like 10K animating that orange. I just can't
That's
forget
true.
it.
It was super detailed.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I heard rumors of that. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was real. Yeah. Oh, and then the actual fight of Kirito going up against the creator in that what was it, arena, where it was like the guy, the creator, which was like the guild's leader, and they're fighting for the first time. That was pretty iconic for Sword Art Online. You guys don't remember that scene where the creator kind of cheats and shifts his shield time to time? You remember that scene, Tim?
I didn't really watch Sword Art. Not a fan.
Ah,
Not a fan.
all right, all right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more, but I I think most of the stuff that the iconic scenes that I like is usually, yeah, like I said before, like a main character that overcomes his limits and goes beyond. Not like Dragon Ball Z style where it's like going Super Saiyan and breaking that barrier and going even more. That's kind of like the routine for that, but like for those anime that doesn't have that.
Well, at the time, it was groundbreaking. Like, I've never heard of anyone going blonde before in any of my shonen, so
Mm-hmm.
at the time it was kind of crazy. Like he was powering up and suddenly he was like transforming like some sort of like Pokemon or something and like he turned blonde. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, the first one is cool, but when they did like two, three, and then four, I was just like, oh, okay, all right, this is
Yeah.
how it's gonna go.
But the first one is iconic. It's referenced everywhere. Everyone knows it. At the time, it was good.
Yeah, yeah. I think, well, for me, the going Kaioken was more iconic than going Super Saiyan, I guess. But you know, I'm kind of old school.
Yeah, I can see that.
um, yeah, and then for me, I guess you could say like um, the when the characters sacrifice themselves in order to save someone was like really iconic. Like I can't, well, obviously it can't be iconic if I can't remember what the title is, but there's a bunch of animes that you can, or there's like characters that's not even this, it doesn't have to be the main character, but there's characters where it's like, oh, someone's about to die, so I'm gonna like cover for them. And even if they both end up dying, but that act of selflessness, yeah,
Self-sacrifice.
self-sacrifice is just like, it gives me goosebumps. And unfortunately, um I know there's some or actually there's a lot of anime like that, but unfortunately I don't remember the title. But yeah, those types. And then also the anime that has like the main villain have the main character kill him off, because or in the end, or there's like an epic battle scene, and then in the end he just like lets them kill them, and it's like, I've been waiting for someone to kill me and stuff like that. God, I can't remember. It's like really, I really like it because I think it was like he was immortal or something, but like the main character has like the ability of like killing them or something. Jeez, I forgot.
Yeah.
But those scenes are really iconic for me, like how someone important that you follow ends up dying or self-sacrificing, or someone that's evil ends up being, he wasn't evil to start with. It's like that one saying that they say, it's like in Batman, where it's like you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I think that works really well for a lot of anime too.
You mean where they like kind of like humanize the villain in a way, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you kind of like realize that dude's been suffering?
yeah. Like the villain is only doing something for like the greater good, what he thinks is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But the main character is like, no, 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 you can't do that. Like, you can't wipe out the whole entire world and then start anew. You gotta like live with like the flaws and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of psychological, but in a way, it's just like, okay, so we can't really say a villain is a villain until you actually know his true intent, right? Because you could say like there's some good in the way they're thinking, because there's multiple ways of thinking, and I thought that's pretty cool for any type of iconic scenes, you know. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah. So, anything else, Tim?
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's get to the part where we introduce you to the genres that's not really talked about a lot, where we try to give you uh, like a starting point for you to read or watch. And so today's genre is manhwa, which is the Korean version of a manga. Unfortunately, there's a lot of different genres for like the Korean manga or manhwa. So we're just gonna smash it all together and give it all in one go. But unfortunately for me, the only manhwa I read is like action and martial arts, because I think that they do a better job than the regular or Japanese manga. So, a really iconic one for me is called The Breaker, and they also did like a second season of the manga called New Waves. It is amazing. I love the art style and everything. That it's just in general, I just love, fighting and martial arts and stuff like that. But it's a little different from Kenichi, the Strongest Disciple. Uh, it's like the main character learns a technique from, or he wants to become stronger, right? He's like a weak guy. He's like the typical weak guy, and then he finds this strong guy or like a master one day, and then he wants to become just like him, and then he ends up getting training from him, and so his adventure begins, and then there's these different martial arts style, and then the crazy part is, I don't know if it's Korean or Chinese, but there's a lot of like martial arts within the whole culture itself, so it's pretty interesting on its own. I don't think there's an anime. If there is, I wouldn't recommend it. I rather have you guys enjoy the manga more, because it's more detailed and the art style is amazing. Have you heard of it, Tim? The Breaker?
I've heard of it. I've never read it though.
Yeah.
Is this like realistic like martial arts, or like what kind of?
In the beginning, it's realistic, but again, it's a manga, so they kind of go past that point, but there's a lot of ki involved, like the
Okay, yeah.
inner spirit or something like that, which does make sense at some circumstances. Like, for example, let's just say like a ki blast. You might not physically see it, but I know for a fact that there are martial arts in the actual world that can do that, Like, I've I wouldn't see. I can't really say I've seen it because it's weird. But even if you do like a Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha to someone, if you're like really truly trying to throw that ki blast and then you make that ball and then you throw it at someone like physically, I get a sense, maybe it's just me, but I get a sense, but there's like something warm, even if it's like warm air or something. You get like a feeling that there was something thrown at you. Do you does that ever happen to you?
I mean, yeah, there was probably a shockwave. Like it's just air, compressed air. But I mean, I do know that like ki is an actual thing that people study,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never actually experienced it. It's not really like out there. Like they're not publicizing these ki techniques. So
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not you can't see it,
yeah,
and it can be considered methodical or something that is just in legends and stuff like that. But I believe there's some circumstances that may uh, make it happen, make it real. And then they focus on like key points and stuff like that where if you like poke some part of your body, one other part like shuts down or it's like harder to move. They do that a lot in the Breaker, so
mm.
it's pretty interesting for martial arts. And also the thing about manhwa that I don't really like is they focus more on coloring everything. Like for manga,
Yeah.
that's something that it kind of like turns me off. Like, or maybe because I've
Wait,
read, yeah,
you don't like the full colors or?
yeah, I actually don't. I like to enjoy like the black and white and then just picture the colors
Mm.
like that I want like choose. Like let's just say like the main character is just black and white, but in my mind his hair is like, red or brown and his eyes are like blue or, brown or stuff like that. I'd rather have that choice rather than having like a green haired dude with like, I don't know, golden eyes or something like that. So I rather have like that choice. That's why I kind of don't like color.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before. But yeah, I guess if somebody's got like green hair, that might take me out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it has to do with like the character, because obviously in Hunter x Hunter, Gon having green hair fits him, right? Because
Right.
he loves nature and he could pull it off. Is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah. But the Breaker doesn't have the color part. That's what I really like about it, and it's also the martial arts, which is cool too. So yeah, definitely give it a. Yeah, I think for martial arts, I consider the Breaker more than any other martial arts manga to begin with.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then my second one, I don't like it because it's colored, but it's called Noblesse. It's well known. Um, that's all I can say. It's just like you see it everywhere. If it's like a manhwa, Noblesse is up there. I personally haven't read thoroughly. I just know like the general idea of it. It's, I don't know, not for me. But I'm pretty sure, you know, if you do like those colored stuff, you might enjoy it. But yeah. Oh, and this next one is called Veritas. It's Veritas. This is like before Breaker. It's pretty old. If you ever watched or read Tenjo Tenge, it's really like what's it called? Like similar to that.
Okay.
The main character is like comedic and kind of like stubborn, and then they focus more on ki for this one, where it's like you channel it, and then through channeling you could use these special powers where it's just like manipulating lightning into your martial arts. So it's not something that's like too crazy and absurd, but it's kind of like, okay, so if you mix your ki with fire or water, like the elements, maybe you're able to like harness it and then use it as a martial arts. There's these possibilities that's like pretty cool. And I for the very first manga, like martial arts, I wouldn't recommend it. I think it would be like the next one right after the Breaker. But it's awesome. I like it. I enjoy it. And there are a lot of fan fictions. I mean, not fan fiction, fan services. So yeah, give it a shot. It's pretty cool. The art style it's really similar to the Breaker as well. It is not colored, which is why I like it. The next one's Jack Frost. If you like Helsing, you're gonna like this. For those of you who don't know Helsing, it's like a vampire hunter type deal, which he himself is a vampire. So it's kind of the same thing, but if you could get past the very slow starting point for Jack Frost, it starts to pick up and it's pretty cool. But up until then, you might not like it. So maybe not the first one, but if you're interested, maybe watch Helsing first. Yeah, because it's very similar to it. So give it a try. So this next one is colored. It's called The God of High School. The only reason why I tolerate it is because yes, it is martial arts, but I like the concept of how they introduced Son Goku. It's not the Dragon Ball Z Son Goku, but like Son Goku is like a legendary monkey that rides on a nimbus and has like a rod that like could grow. And they have a real cool way of tying that into martial arts. And then there's different types of martial arts too. And then besides the fact that, there's some absurd stuff, they tend to focus a lot on martial arts itself. Like there's karate and taekwondo, and then everyone's like within their limits, like, or at least in the beginning, where it's like, okay, so this makes sense. He's doing like a spinning back kick, which is possible in real life. And yeah, that's what kind of allows me to look over the colored issue. Like I could tolerate the color just because of that. So yeah, it's called The God of High School. It's pretty cool.
Wait, is that one a like school setting, but it's got like a Journey to the West theme?
It's like it does start off in a school, but it's more like these, I don't know if it's government, but these guys are like recruiting all the strong fighters of different styles into like one big arena.
Oh, so they do like a tournament thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the school
tournament.
like kind of goes away. They never like talk about it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, give that a shot. But I mean, if you like colored, I think that's something that you can watch or read. Sorry. And then my last one is Sunken Rock. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's Japanese manhwa because the setting is in Japan and in Korea. And I've read parts, or in some parts of the manga, there's the Korean symbols which is like when there's like a big explosion or they're laughing, there'll be like parts of it that they don't, blur out and make it English. So I'm just like, okay, so it could potentially be Korean or it could be like Japanese. I'm not sure, but the setting is both Japan and Korea, and it's about mobsters, or the Japanese yakuza and then the Korean yakuza. So, yeah, like I said before, there's a lot of ecchi and comedy but there are action as well. So it's not something that you read in the beginning, but the art style is amazing, and yeah, I'd recommend it. Maybe not the first one, but the first manga you read, but it's definitely awesome. Have you read it, Tim? Sunken Rock?
I haven't actually read that one, no.
Really? I thought that you would be like like out of all the martial arts and stuff, like that would be something that you would, you know, dip your nose in.
Yeah, I don't really read that much martial arts,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, yeah. And then as you noticed, my picks are just martial arts for manhwa, but that's just like the genre I like to read for manhwa. I'm pretty sure there's like a whole bunch of good other genres, but yeah, that's my list.
Do you actually like prefer to read martial arts than to like watch it?
Yeah, yeah, because like we all know, manga has more detail.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I think I enjoy more of like the like what I said about the color thing, where I like to imagine how like things go. Like they'll start off like just say like in one panel they'll start off with like a punch that you assume is a punch, and then the next panel it's like them hitting like the face or like the cheek of the whoever they're fighting, and then they get blown off to like, you know, blown back or something like that. So I like to picture it on my own rather than have like an anime just flow through it, you know. I like the freedom.
yeah, it's interesting. I've never heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I just think that the art style, they just kill it in animes. Like I feel I like the the unique, distinctive art style that is hand drawn and I guess you could say lifeless, which is like not moving, you know? Yeah.
Definitely like kind of get what you're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
That like manga has its own like pacing
Right.
where like you see a punch coming and then you like maybe something else happened. You don't and you kind of like fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I definitely find that pacing to be a lot better.
Yeah.
It really like depends on the artist, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, speaking of pacing, it's like you could go at your own pace too, right? Like
Right.
at the anime is like going way too fast where it's like, oh wait, he punched him? Like like well, what happened? So you gotta go back. But like for manga you could be like, okay, so this happened, that happened.
Yeah.
All right. So this is why he's on the ground, you know. So
And you can go back and like
yeah,
do all that stuff.
yeah, if there's like a scene that doesn't make sense, yeah, you could go back, right? So yeah, and then that's yeah, that's pretty much it for me for the yeah. All right. What about you, Tim?
All right. Well, my first one is also martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
but this is it's called Girls of the Wilds, and
Oh,
it's
shit.
about wait, what?
Nah, I'm back. I missed a lot.
Oh, wait. It's about well, it's high school,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about I guess it's like mixed martial arts, and basically like everybody at the school is some sort of fighter, and then you have this. He's called Song Jae-gu, and he's kind of like a meek, hardworking dude that just like kind of got enrolled into the school in some way, and is suddenly realizing that he's like not really fitting in with this like super athletic crowd at the school, and he like has school issues. There's like bullying, and he has to like overcome his fears with like romance and stuff, and There's a lot of fighting. I really like the art style. It's very polished. It has color though, so maybe this one's not for you.
At least not for me, but if color's your thing.
But yeah, the art style is super polished, and so if you want something a little different from your martial arts, maybe this one's for you.
I actually have seen like some of the scenes, and I like how they didn't make everything too absurd, like the body and stuff. Like the character doesn't have like a 10 pack or something like that. It's like
Yeah,
their body's like toned and fit, but it's not like too absurd.
yeah, they definitely go for more of the realism. It definitely feels like kind of like a drama that was adapted to a comic in some ways,
Yeah.
because they deal with a lot of like mundane, um, like school drama, and then
Yeah.
they do, yeah,
Minus the fact that Asians are some of the Asian girls has boobs, like big boobs. So that's just part
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
that's
the
true.
fan service. But yeah, yeah, the art style is cool too. Yeah. Okay.
So my other one is I don't know what this series is called. I've read one that's called like The Ghost in Masang Tunnel,
Hmm.
and it's by this dude named Horang. So if you want to find these, you'll have to like search him up.
Hmm.
But basically he does like kind of these traditionalist like Asian ghost stories where they're just like mysterious people, and then bad stuff happens, and I guess that's kind of a traditional format. But it's got kind of a interesting twist on the medium, so that's kind of all I can really say about that. So if you want,
I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but for the horror series for like Korean manga, I feel like it the characters look more paper like there's I don't know. I'm not trying to bash on the genre or anything, but it feels like it's just not really real. Like the characters, if you like compare the two, obviously,
mhm,
like the regular manga, it looks like it's not 3D, but it feels like it's gonna pop out. But for the Korean ones, it's just like paper. It's just like flat. And I mean that's just my take, but I don't know. I get
yeah,
that
I
vibe.
definitely whenever I see them, I definitely get kind of like a nostalgic tone, like this is stuff that happened in the past. Like it feels like I'm reminiscing in
Hmm.
some way,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't know if that's on purpose, but I don't know. I find it interesting, and it's a set art style as long as you adhere to it. It's not really a big deal.
yeah, yeah,
So
definitely. And is it colored?
that one's hard to say. It's pretty muted, so maybe it's colored, maybe it. Yeah,
Okay,
I guess there is color, but they're light with it.
okay, all right. So maybe I'll just like it half like it. All right. Cool. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Cool. All right. Take it away. Close it out, Set. What you got?
Oh shit! What the manga?
Yeah.
Ah man, I haven't read any manga, but I have a friend who has.
Oh
It's
boy.
like he said like Koreans are known for their like adult one, and he read something. Oh man, the title was so funny when he was describing it to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I slipped in the shower and my brother slept or slipped inside me or something like
The fuck?
that. Yeah, and he was like explaining it to me. He was like, "Yeah, they were like showering, and then she slipped on the bathtub or whatever, and like her brother's penis went inside. I was like, what? Yeah, and apparently it's a K-tune or Manhwa, whatever. So yeah, that's all I know. Closing out with that.
Okay, that's valid. I'm good with that.
Okay. I don't know why, but I think a lot of the manhwas are posted on the webtoon. There's like a site called Webtoon, and I think it's like a Line app or something. But that's where I usually read mine. But no sponsor or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to read manhwa for free, I guess you could say, you just gotta download it and you could check it out. I'm pretty sure the stuff that we mentioned is in there as well. But yeah. Well, shit. That's it for today, I guess. All right. Well, thank you, Set and Tim, showing up every day. Thank you. Appreciate it. And for you listeners, hope this helped start your way, even if you know this is just our preference, I guess you could say. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to give it a try, maybe. But have a good night, evening, morning, afternoon. Stay safe.
Laters.